Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title of this video, yes, I'm going to talk about Harriet again. One of the many videos I make about Harriet, the Naturalist role, which I am not. It's the only role I am not. And the reason I am not a Naturalist is because of what it represents and how cheesy it is in this game when it comes to acquiring clothing. Now I want to ride to Gus while I talk about the clothing and how it's attained. I'm talking about the legendary clothing that people walk around in, overheating their character, so their character is always hunched over. Their character looks like they're sick when they wear the clothing because they're always just super overheated, so they're constantly hunched over. They look like they're in pain. The avatars actually drag their feet when they walk because they're overheated. And that's just one thing why I think that kind of clothing just looks ridiculous. And I guess the best way to show you what I'm talking about is to actually go to Gus and he gives you a preview of what it might look like if you go to Harriet and have her put you in your own private lobby, your own private instance. For example, a rank 20 naturalist. Let's say they want a nice looking wolf headdress outfit. But here's the thing. The fact that Harriet basically hand delivers it on a silver platter trivializes it, in my opinion. Makes it completely ridiculous looking. It looks like a 5-year-old in a Halloween costume. That's what it looks like. Because the way it was attained. The way it was earned. I wish that we could just go back to the old ways of finding legendaries randomly as you travel the map on your horse. That's been taken away and replaced with the naturalist role. It's almost like you're forced to be a naturalist if you want to earn that cool looking clothing. But it's just too ridiculous the way it's earned. I mean, Harriet might as well just change the person's diapers too, because it's childish in the way it's earned. The fact that Red Dead Online even made it a role ruined this game. Yes, Harriet ruined this game for many reasons. Trivialized legendary clothing. It doesn't look cool on a person. It makes them look actually idiotic and childish, like they're wearing a Halloween costume. Harriet made legendaries cheesy. There's a bunch of wolves. No thank you, I don't want anything to do with you. There's too many of you in the game anyway. Too many wolf attacks. Not today. Although it is good for big game meat when it comes to making stew at your camp, there's just too many of them. Too many of them in the game. It's not realistic at all. So here's Gus. Let's take a look at the clothing.
Well, you
know what I wish?
Quite a name for yourself.
You know what I wish? I wish legendary pelts acquired the old-fashioned way without the naturalist role that was turned into clothing. Had maybe a little bit different way that it looked. So here we go. Now, how can anybody be proud of something that's just given to them? That's what Harriet does. So this is like a sneak peek of what it would look like if you get the legendary Moonstone Wolf Pelt, for example. This looks cool, but look at my character. He's sweating. He's uncomfortable. He's going to be hunched over and he's going to look like a complete, just lackadaisical loser while roaming the Red Dead Online map. Always just, ugh, this is too hot. Why is this on my head? Oh my God, why am I wearing this? Right. There's not enough snow on the map to make these even viable to even wear, because when you wear this, your health slowly drains. So it's people think they look cool wearing this. If I were in charge of the decisions of this game, I would say, okay, the Naturalist role is the cheesy way to earn it, which it is. It's the childish way, in my opinion. Childish, in my opinion. Yeah, you look like a 5-year-old in a Halloween costume to earn this clothing. So how about make it so people that are not naturalists, if I was in charge of making decisions, I would say, well, you don't have to be a naturalist to acquire this. You can actually go out and try to find legendary animals out in the wild, hunt them, you know, like a normal immersed game would be, not just hand delivered to you on a silver platter like Harriet does. We'll put you in your own private lobby, your own private instance. I don't understand how that's fun or how you get a sense of value out of that. I don't understand how people get that.
Today would be nice.
And then they waltz around in the game thinking they look cool. They're like, oh, look at this cool clothing I just earned. You didn't earn it. Harriet gave it to you. It's pathetic. I wish there was maybe a different way to show how this was earned for non-naturalists and naturalists. Naturalists get the regular looking mode, and non-naturalists who earn it could have the option, let's say, of having a different, just a slightly different piece of clothing that's the same but just a little bit different, and how other players could tell how it was earned. Was it earned by the cheesy way as being a naturalist, or was it earned actually going out and hunting it, putting out the bait, putting out the time and effort to do it? Legendary animals are not supposed to be easy. Thus the name legendary. Harriet making it completely hand delivered to you, basically Amazon delivered. It might as well be. That's a figure of speech. I mean, there's just no honor in it. All right. It looks childish. It looks really stupid. So that's the garment set. Is there any more garment sets? That's the only two, huh? That's it. 2 garment sets. Wow. Oh, look, you get 2 different ones. Oh, look at the difference. Ooh. I mean, how $640, $772. People say, well, finding it the old way was too hard. So they want an easy button. Harriet is basically an easy button. That's not how video games are fun to me. Having a challenge and earning something, and then going around and having this, people will actually say, wow, that's cool. But no, the naturalist role trivialized clothing like this.
I hunted for 35 years. I know my stuff.
And like I say too, there's just no, let's look at the map for a second. Have you ever made a camp in the snow? Nope. You can go explore the snow area and drop your camp, but I don't know if it's ever gonna, I don't think it's gonna drop it in the snow. It's gonna drop it on the outskirts of the snow in the grizzlies. And the grizzlies are pretty huge. They extend from, I think, right about here is where the grizzlies start, and then it just wraps around and keeps going. And then they'll give you a camp, but it's not going to be in the snow. So wearing this heavy clothing, most of the game, there's hardly any snow. So I don't understand how this clothing is even fun to wear. All it does is overheat your character, and then they walk around like they walk around like they're sick, because they are.
Happy hunting.
Being overheated is a sickness. It makes a person sick, feel ill, naturally. So why would you want your character looking and doing that, and making those embarrassing body language? It's just irritating in a game that's all full of immersion with good graphics. How do you have pride in that when you earned it in such a way where Harriet hand-delivered it? So yeah, the Naturalist role is a big reason why this game was ruined. Anyway, let's talk about something. One more thing about people who use the Naturalist role to dupe pelts. And they get a posse together, and they do it right near Gus, and they'll turn one pelt into 40 pelts. Imagine like 40 pelts around me, and then they'll get off their horse. And they'll take each and every one at a time, and they'll sell it to Gus pelt. Which, by the way, calling it a legendary is an oxymoron if it's hand-delivered to you on a silver platter and giving you private instance in a solo lobby. Calling it a legendary doesn't make sense anymore. Just doesn't. So Harriet ruined the game. Gus didn't ruin the game. Harriet did. Because before Gus, there was a trapper NPC. So Gus is nothing new to the game. It's just Harriet was introduced. Completely trivialized the clothing. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. Those that think pelt duping is not cheating need to understand that this game has PvP. If it didn't have PvP, it would not be cheating. But because it's PvP, I believe it is cheating. And here's why. In my opinion, it's because somebody, let's just say rank 14 or rank 20, who gets the cheating bug and takes that bug and eats it, consumes it, and then gets that, and then they can't let it go. That's all they do every day, is because they can't help themselves. Can get basically every pamphlet in the game from the fence, and right away, basically they have an unlimited paycheck to get everything in the game right out of the gate as a brand new player. And if you think that's not cheating, and because there's PvP, and by the way, PvP is unavoidable in Red Dead Online. It's going to happen. Even if you don't do the PvP, for example, let me show you. If you don't do these PvP things here, the featured series, shootout, elimination series, race, takeover, shootout, this is all PvP. But it's kind of like Fallout. Not Fallout. Call of Duty. It's kind of like for Call of Duty players, but just free roaming, and I'm talking free roaming, like real free roaming, not free roaming missions. Free roaming this map, just going somewhere and just say, let's just go over here. You know, free roaming. Or let's just go over here. You're gonna run into griefers, you're gonna run into PvPers, and if they got every pamphlet in the game, they've got an edge on you, and they just started the game. How is that not cheating? They justify it as not cheating. Because they're like, it doesn't affect the other players. Yes, it does. If there was no PvP in this game, then it would not be affecting the other players. This game is not PvE. It's PvP everywhere you go, unless you go in defensive mode, but that only goes you so far. It doesn't actually help you. People can still fire at you, they just cannot, of course, use painted black, and they'll do less damage. But eventually, you know, you can grief a person in defensive mode. It's just a little bit tougher. And if they fire back, they go out of defensive mode anyway. It's a long story short. PvP is unavoidable in this game. It's part of the game. It's what makes it fun. That immersion value that you could be griefed while doing a delivery mission kind of gives a sense of fight or flight mode, which is fun in games. It gives that sense of scariness, like, ooh. And then when you accomplish something and you didn't get griefed or nothing, it gives that feeling of, oh, cool, I can relax now. That's a fun experience, don't get me wrong. But when a person has an unlimited paycheck by cheating, by duping legendary pelts, which is an oxymoron, like I said, using Harriet and Gus to do that, and the way they use Gus is, like I said, they do it close to Gus, far enough away where they're not going to trigger him. I'm talking about the trigger point, not trigger him, like cause him to start saying things. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the trigger point in the game. Like, they do it far enough away so it doesn't affect it. Like, let's just, yeah, right over here would be perfect. And every single posse member does it, and they become so rich where they have way too much money than they need in the game. So they buy everything in the game, basically, and maybe a weekend of playing, and they got that competitive edge against everybody else who doesn't cheat. And I think there's only about maybe 10% of the players that don't cheat in this game. It's my opinion, 90% of the players in this game cheat. Yes, duping treasure maps and duping legendary pelts, oxymoron. Legendary pelts is an oxymoron, is cheating. And if those that want to do mental gymnastics, just like the South Park episode that came up with that term, they want to do those mental gymnastics in their mind to justify doing it because they don't want to grind for it. They're saying it's too hard, the game's too hard, it takes too long, so they want that quick satisfaction. And then they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So they have basically everything in the game basically overnight. And, you know, like I say, in a weekend's time, you can make so much money cheating. Of course you can. That's why they do it. They want that quick satisfaction. They want to look. They're living a lie in the game, and they think they're a good player. Yeah, they do mental gymnastics, like I said. So have a good day, everybody. It's another Harriet rant. Yes, I know, but I just wanted to let you know how dumb you all look in that clothing. You look like 5-year-olds in Halloween costumes. Just wanted to let you know. I don't sugarcoat things. Have a good day.